Ronaldo. Yes! Yes! David Beckham has done it big time.
Hello and welcome to the Heto and Seva Uncharted podcast. Seva, welcome.
Cheers, Matty. Thank you very, very much. This is our maiden voyage.
And I'm Matthew Hetrick.
And I'm Daniel Severino.
And we are going to go by Heto and Seva for the rest of the podcast. But we thought we'd give you our names to start with. So, Seva, what about how we started this podcast? It's a pretty funny story, right?
Yeah, it was. It literally started up as gym talk at the local gym that we both go to, MG Active, ran by Mark Geyer and Logan Geyer.
Number one trainer in Penrith.
Definitely. Got me in shape.
Look at you now, fit ass. Got you back in shape.
Got me back in shape.
It really started because we were just chatting football. Really, we're probably the only two in the gym that really do chat football, right? So soon found out that we were both Liverpool fans, and it sort of went from there, right? Yeah,
it did, mate. It was easy talking, and every day we saw each other, the talks got longer, and hanging out in the car parks, and it just started turning dark on us, and we're like,
Didn't
it?
We
got to do something
hands.
about this.
Got all weird. So we decided to say, let's start a podcast. So look, here we are now. We've got a pretty good lineup ready to go, and we will give you that as we go later on. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what this podcast is going to be about, and there is some serious stuff to the podcast, right? We are going to be very lighthearted with most of our guests and yourself throughout this, but there is some serious side to it, and we are going to attack and go about the mental health side of not necessarily football, but sport in general.
Yep, definitely, Hedo.
And it's the issue that I found chatting to you was the transitioning from athlete, I guess, back into the real world. And a few guests are going to chat about that as well. And also, obviously, we are going to be football, right?
Yep, definitely.
So let's get started, Seva. I'm going to run through first. I'm going to run through some questions about your career because people probably don't know who the real Daniel Severino is. So, Seva, let's get started. Where did it all start for you, mate?
Well, in terms of career, I like to say the career started at about 6 years old. Even though I was an unpaid player back then, it pretty much started just sitting in the kitchen one day. I remember in the corner, I was sitting on the bench, and my parents just came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to get involved with a team?" And I was already playing at the time, and just went down to the local team, and just started from there. And then at about 8 years old, I decided to go and play for Marconi, which back then was the place to be for anyone. Then from there I just went through all the junior ranks and stuff like that, all the way through to the reps, and pretty much made my way into the first team. I think it was about in 98, 99 as a 17, 18-year-old, and
That's where I want to pick it up there. So let's talk about that. So Marconi 1999, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. What was the next big thing that happened 1999 for you?
99, pretty significant, eh? I remember we went over to a Viareggio tournament in Italy. I think it was an under-19s or an under-20 tournament, and we were there for maybe about 10 days, 2 weeks. And on our way back in, I remember it was one last game we were playing against, I think, Bari or something. And the football manager at the time came up to me and said, "Look, have you got an agent?" I said, "No." "Like, what for?" And he goes, "Because there's some interest out there for you, and that's what the football world's about, moving on, making, trading players and stuff like that and getting sold." And so I had to make a quick call back home. I woke my parents up during the night, and they gave the all
clear?
Yeah, they gave the okay for the club to act on my behalf. I think at the end of it, by the time we got back to Australia, there were about 8 clubs in England. No, sorry. There were 8 clubs in Italy and 2 clubs in England. The 2 in England were Sunderland and Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah. I was surprised.
Wow.
With that. Yeah.
You could have been on Geordie Shore, right? Listen to you.
Yeah. Well. So it started from there, eh? And then And then basically that was in the February, and then I think it was around about the April or something. I got called in the offices at Marconi, and there was a club called Bologna at the time, a Serie A club, and we sat down with the powers of to be, and we pretty much agreed on a $500,000 deal back then, and a week later it fell apart. I believe they pretty much asked for double. They blew the deal out of the water.
Who Marconi did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So $1 million deal back then is like, it's probably maybe $6-7 million now.
Wow, 1999.
Yeah, it was going to be the biggest transfer ever in soccer history or football history. Yeah, at that time, I think only Paul Ocon had the record at the time. So
wow. So Bologna fell through.
Bologna fell through. 3 months later, I was doing pre-season with the first team
At Marconi?
Yeah, under Eddie Krencevic. And I just remember him telling me one day, oh, you know, up the left-hand side, this will be yours, you know. And I'm thinking, hold on, this guy doesn't know that I'm about to jump on a plane tomorrow. I've got a deal ready to go with a club called Piacenza. And
wow.
Yeah. So I pretty much, it was an undisclosed fee.
Really?
Yeah, due to what happened with Bologna.
Yeah, right.
Not even I know the fee, to be honest. And I went there, and that was in 99, 2000. I remember I spent the Olympics watching it alone when the Olympics were on here.
In Italy?
Yeah, I was in Italy. Yeah.
Wow, how good. Right, let's get to the good stuff, right? So how long at Piacenza for?
I was there for about 2.5 years. 2 years, 2.5 years. I had a four-year deal, but yeah, the club, something happened in the club, and I didn't see that.
And that's what happens. And then next stop, Millwall, yeah?
Next stop was Millwall. Yep. I met an agent back then whose name is Andy Burnell, who we're going to touch on a little bit later on.
I've got some stories about that, very much so.
Yep. He was David Beckham's agent at the time, and he actually had Tim Cahill as well, who was playing at Millwall at the time, and I got introduced to him. And he came over my parents' house and pretty much mapped out a plan for me, and I was on the next flight.
Straight over?
Yeah, straight over.
So how long at Millwall then? Let's not talk too much about it, but
Yep.
was it what you were after?
No. England didn't suit me.
Yeah, right.
Did not suit me at all.
So how long there for then?
I was there for about half a season.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And then back to Australia?
Back to Australia, yep. Got a couple of ops on the groins, and
Straight back to Marconi?
straight back to the home base. Yeah.
Stop it. So a couple more years in Marconi, then we've been told over to Bankstown.
Yeah. I just wanted to get some games under my belt, and at that time, the NSL was pretty much on its decline, and there was going to be a spell in between NSL and A-League, and I decided to go to Bankstown because I had a few friends playing there, and another person we're going to touch on soon is Peter Tsakenis and Peter Papiathis. They were the coaches at the time.
Yeah, we can't wait to get those two in. Actually, it's going to be good. That's going to be a good yarn.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of titles there at Bankstown, was it?
Yep, a couple of titles. I thoroughly enjoyed playing under there.
Yeah, I bet you would. Now,
really good.
this is where it gets pretty interesting, right? So you're at Bankstown, and then you go to Iceland. Yeah, you go to Iceland for an 8-week contract. Is that right? Is that what? Are you actually going to say you went there for 8 weeks?
Yeah. Honest truth, yes. I went there because the club were playing in the UEFA Cup. Actually, no, we had to qualify for the UEFA Cup and then play in it. And the whole thing about that was spend some time there, and Norwich were actually tracking me in the Premier League. God knows how. Don't know, but that's the way football is. So we went there for about 8 weeks. And loved my time there. Very, very different.
And then over to Sweden as well, yeah.
Yeah. Then from there went to Sweden.
Wow,
Sweden was great. Yeah. Good place. And yeah.
All right. And then there's the second coming at Bankstown.
Yeah. I just wanted to play games, and I wanted to come home, to be honest. I just felt like I was a human boomerang. I just kept coming back.
And we're going to talk about that stuff with some of our guests too, how hard it is actually to make it overseas and the issues that players face, right? So we'll go through a lot of that stuff. So Bankstown, and you got the itch to go back.
Yeah, got the itch. I got the itch to go back. I went back to Italy. I just felt like I had unfinished business, went over there for a year, and then my wife now, she had family in Malta, so in the off season, I had to stick around because the club was
in Italy.
Yeah, I was supposed to stick around and just sign a deal in the off season, and so I said, all right, we'll go to your homeland, and then it'll be easy for me to just trek back for an hour, sign it, and then head back home rather than the 24-hour back, 24 hours. So yeah, we did that, and then the money got pulled out of the club.
Yeah, right.
And I was pretty much where to play next. I didn't want to come home. I really wanted to hang around there because it was getting closer to pre-season.
Yep.
So one of the biggest clubs there in Malta, named Seva Wanderers. They
signed you.
They signed me, and it's just a great place to live. Pretty good place to play.
Yeah, right.
It just felt right.
And then from Malta, Bonnyrigg, yeah?
Yep. After Malta, that's it. Same thing. Come back home.
So you come back home, play for Bonnyrigg, and then the Gold Coast come knocking.
Yep.
Right. This is where it gets pretty interesting, and for those listening and watching, this is going to be pretty raw. So Gold Coast play there for how long there for?
I was there for a season. It was biggest eye opener of my life.
Yeah. So that's back when the A-League basically first started, right?
No, that was 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was well and truly in it. I think it was it could have been 7th or 8th season.
All right. Now, we spoke about this earlier today, and I'm going to ask. So the Western Sydney Wanderers come into the comp, right? And I've been told that you were their first signing. Yes or no?
True. Correct.
Right. So you've signed from the Gold Coast as Western Sydney Wanderers first signing, along with?
It was Aaron Moy and Tarek Elric.
All right. So
just to make it
take
clear,
it away.
Nothing was on paper. I hadn't actually signed.
Okay.
But I had the 3-year deal in my hand, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pending a coach. Yeah.
Pending a coach. Because of what happened at Gold Coast, I was 30 years old. I was at a crossroads where I wanted to start a family. I didn't need the so-called, shenanigans that was going on the Gold Coast. I needed stability, and I was just waiting for a coach.
Everyone loves the shenanigans on the Gold Coast. Come on, pal.
Yeah, I was just waiting for a coach, because I just wasn't. I just wanted to know who was going to be the coach at the time, to be honest. And then what happened was they named their coach, and the deal was removed from the table instantly, along with all dealings with my agent at the time.
And it's a pretty big call to make, right? That's a pretty big call. First signing, Aaron Moy, Tarek Elrich, Daniel Severino, and it doesn't come off, yeah?
Correct.
Must have been pretty cranky, I dare say.
I was, to be honest. Being a little bit naive, I admittedly took to social media, and I said some stuff I shouldn't have, which I do regret. But when your lifeline's on the line, people.
3-year deal.
3-year deal. Very good money, I have to say. Living out of home, living from your own home.
Yeah.
When someone just rips that out of your fingers, you just can't take it. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did go about it the wrong way, but yeah, a little bit regretful.
You'll be right, mate. We'll get through it. You never know, eh? Now finished at Marconi. Then went back, finished at Marconi.
Correct. Yeah. After that, I because I'd been playing 2 years straight. I just played a season at Marconi in the Premier League, and then that was it.
Well, if your playing career is pretty good, and I've said this to you before, that you may have a job, you may have a football lifeline handy in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. I've got a contract offer that we can throw to you. You can be part of my Eastern Creek squad at any point, right? So just quickly before we finish on that footballing career through Europe and Australia, the links with Andy Burnell and Tim Cahill. One of our big guests, Andy Burnell, who's got a book out, Riding Shotgun.
Riding Shotgun, yep.
And there's a chapter or a page on you in there, I've been told.
Yeah, there is actually. When he had the idea about the book, he obviously had to make contact with a lot of people and say, is it okay to be mentioned and that? And I gave him the go ahead. And it'll just be some stuff from Millwall and Italy and that. And he sent me what was going to be in the book, and along with a lot of other stuff. So it's going to be an exciting book.
Yeah, we can't wait for that, and we can't wait to get him on board as well.
Exactly right. Yeah. So correct.
All right, let's move on. Give us your differences between playing in Europe and playing in Australia.
Differences was pretty much the speed of the game. Everyone knew exactly what they were supposed to do. It was just frightening because you go there and you just know that they live and breathe this stuff. Ever since they were young kids, I remember going over there and I watched an under-10s team train, literally move like robots, like a 4-4-2. It was crazy. I'd never seen that from such a young age group. The lifestyle completely different, food, culture, everything is just, imagine just someone just coming up to you and pressing reset and rebooting you and having to learn everything from scratch. Yeah. We think you could be a big fish here or whatever, you go over there, completely different.
And it's good to understand, right? We're going to ask a lot of our guests that are going to come on are going to have similar experiences, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Speaking of guests, let's give the viewers and the listeners a bit of a rundown on our guests and some upcoming guests soon. So we touched on Andy Burnell. Yep. He's going to be one of our guests, and we've been in constant contact with him, and his autobiography, Riding Shotgun, which is we really can't wait for it, right?
Oh, it's just jam-packed with the Beckham transfer, parties with Real Madrid players.
Yeah.
Just covering up stories left, right and centre, I reckon. There's word out there that Vinnie Jones has actually picked up the story and he wants to take it to Hollywood.
Yeah, see, we can't wait to get him on. We're going to get a couple of your good friends. One is Michael Thwaite.
Yeah, Michael Thwaite.
He's playing on the Gold Coast at the moment in the NPL, yeah?
Yep, NPL.
Zach Anderson.
Zach Anderson just moved back from Asia.
Then we've decided to run with this segment called Son of a Gun, and again touching on mental health and sort of how hard it was growing up in the shadows
of a gun.
In no other words. So first guest, Mark Guy, Logan Guy.
Yeah, exactly. Father and son combination. They run a gym out at Penrith there. Just exactly how hard it is to try and create your own path in a massive shadow of a father, of a massive figure.
And we're also going to get another friend of yours, Martin Lang.
Yeah.
Who was the strength and conditioning coach at Gold Coast United.
Correct, Heto.
And we're going to have a chat to his old man Johnny as well.
Yep.
We are going with another friend of yours, Shane Lyons.
Shane Lyons and Cliffy Lyons.
So to all those rugby league fans out there, we're going to get Cliffy on board. We're going to go Mark Robertson.
Yeah, Mark Robbo up at, where's he now? I think he's in Manchester. He's a scout, possibly for Man City.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to Robbo, and his young bloke, Alex, is in the Man City system at the moment, right?
Massive waves he's making over there. He's an Aussie player, but he has represented England under 15s, and he looks like he's going to go all the way to the top. They're grooming him for big things.
So let's see how we go with that. Peter Catholis.
Yeah, the cat. We're going to take a little bit old school now. He was a absolute massive player in the early 80s, all the way through to the late 80s and early 90s. Absolutely, he pretty much created the number 10 role in this country.
How good. We're going to get Con Butzianis on.
Yeah, Butzianis, the left foot of the devil. Yeah, He pretty much was the best dead ball specialist in the country, I think, that anyone's ever seen. He was just phenomenal. It was unbelievable, and it's a pleasure to have him on.
And a good friend of yours, Flea?
Peter Papithus, yes, the king of Mykonos.
King of Mykonos.
Movies have been made about this guy.
We are going to have a good chat to Flea. We're also going to get Ivan Nasevsky on.
Yep.
Alex Smith, Chris Sharp.
Yep.
And a friend of mine, Anthony Proyer.
Yep, correct.
Who has done some stuff. So a pretty good guest list.
Yeah.
Right?
There
pretty
are
good
a lot
info.
we can't reveal just yet, just for certain reasons, but they've all been confirmed. But yeah, we just need to keep them a little bit quiet for now.
Well played, mate. Well played, hey? You have got this caper down pat.
I do.
Now we also have a heap of player agents from here and abroad that are wanting to come on or have been invited to come on, and are going to give us the rundown into transfer window, player transfers, how it all works, and why.
Yeah.
Like why there's so much, why all of a sudden there's unrest. They're going to give us a bit of background knowledge and ludicrous demands.
Yeah,
mate.
just behind every deal, there's like absolute crazy, shocking demands from players, agents, and yeah, just the real dirty side of what happens in and around transfers and why they break down and why they actually get pushed through. It's amazing some of the stories that are going to come out. You know, it's just that's what podcasts are all about. Just listening to stories. You know, ticking the boxes.
And we're good listening to, and we're also good watching. So we're going to have our YouTube channel up and running as well, mate.
Exactly
so
right.
people can sit on their lounge and have a beer and watch it. Now, this podcast, YouTube channel, all of the above would not be able to get off the ground if we didn't have the help of a few really, really good sponsors, right? So,
correct.
As you can see behind us, if you're watching us, mate, we're in their studio at the moment, and they've been a big help to us. So choose an internet provider you can trust like mate. Choose a mobile provider you can trust like mate. So go and check them out at www.letsbemates.com.au, and we can't actually thank them enough. And they're also a major sponsor of my Premier League team at Eastern Creek. So they're on the front of the shirt. So Dave, we can't thank you enough. So thank you for that. And also the place that got Daniel Severino back into his
Playing weight.
Back into playing weight. MG Active. No mirrors, no expectations, where you can be you.
That's it. You'll find them on Unit 3 and 4, 51 York Street, South Penrith. Just rock up. MG's there every single morning with his son Logs, and they're a proud sponsor. We've even got their hats and that here. I'm wearing one myself. Fit my big head.
And a sponsor that come on board as well, Rusty Penny Brewing Co. is the beer of choice for us at the moment. You can see their beers here. You can go and check them out if you want at their brewery, Unit 5, 4 Dean Place, Penrith. And Seva and I actually were there the other week, and they certainly give us the taste of everything they had.
They gave us the grand tour, didn't they?
Didn't they give us the grand tour? Wow.
Top guys as well.
Very, very, very good blokes.
Very good guys.
And old St Dom's boys. So
follow all their socials as well, Rusty Penny.
We'll tag them all later on. Also, a sponsor that's come on late is the planning station for all your planning needs.
Yep.
Go and see them on Facebook and Instagram at the Planning Station.
Exactly. Right.
And you can see their posters in the background as we speak at the moment. A friend of mine who did our logo, Matt Clark, so Little Paper Boat Supply Company, they have put out, he's made our heads look all right at the back there, hey? So go and follow him at Little Paper Boat Supply Co. He does beanies, hats, socks, air fresheners, which you can which we'll be giving away very soon. Stubby holders, pretty much anything you want. So go and check him out.
I think we got them coming, don't we?
We do have air fresheners coming, and we're going to order stubby holders too. So
yeah, they'll be online shortly.
Everyone will be able to check our heads out for a long time coming. And also DS Tipping and Excavations. For all your excavation and landscaping needs, you can find them on Facebook. If you need a digger, you know who to call. So.
What are you looking at me for?
All right, so just to close off, Seva, first episode, introducing it. It's been pretty raw, our first go, so I don't think we've actually done too bad.
Yeah, not too bad, to be honest. Our first guest is one that we chose pretty wisely. We just wanted like the voice of Australian football. He's our Martin Tyler. He's Simon Hill. He'll be down here at the mate studio, pretty much revealing it all. He's no longer with Fox Sports anymore. He's pretty much going on his own and he's making his own waves. So it'll be absolutely amazing to get him down here, and he might even teach us a thing or two.
Yeah, mate, we definitely do need some help. Now, just before we go, a big thank you to someone that's helping us out at the moment, Jeff Lambert, videographer, photographer. Yep. If you're interested, go and check him out at jefflambert.com.au. And Jeff, we can't thank you enough for making us look good, mate. So thank you very much. Now, Seva, that's us for today, mate.
That's us, mate. Not too bad, not too bad.
Mate, we did it. A couple of beers, we did it. We didn't even have that many. Again, so, Rusty Penny, thank you again. We'll definitely be back.
Yep. Just keep tracking our socials and that, and this will be dropping very, very soon. Get it into a bit of editing. We need a bit of editing, don't we?
Yeah, we need a lot of editing, but mate, I think we've been pretty good to start with.
Yep, and just show us all your support through the socials and stuff like that, and we'll just keep delivering pretty good content. It's not going to be about us. It's going to be about the people coming on and the stories that they've got, life experiences. Mental health is massive, especially during this world pandemic that we find ourselves in, and we just can't thank you guys enough for the followers that we already have and for the future ones. Yeah, we just hope to just bring you exactly what you guys want to hear.
Yeah, and just keep following us and we'll keep delivering.
Exactly right.
Cheers, Seva.
Thanks, Heto. Cheers, brother.